Hey guys, and welcome back to another crypto video. Today we're going to be talking about Cardano ADA, Ripple XRP, and a little bit about general crypto news. I'm very excited today though because we got some really cool things to show you. First off, I want to say that this is by no means financial advice and that you can also win $50 in this video if we can hit 250 likes within 24 hours. All you need to do is comment something down below, comment something in the Discord, and make sure you have the notification bell on. Now, first off, I was checking Twitter all day for Cardano, and I finally noticed something really cool that came out a few hours ago. So, when I pressed it, it sent me to a summary page. And on this summary page, I quickly read through and found something really cool. So, it says here, summary, Cardano Effect podcast with David Esser. David Esser is the senior product manager of Cardano, and he joined the Cardano Effect podcast in an episode where they talked about his background, so how he became IOHK member and how he collaborates with the rest of the Cardano project team, some insights on the development processes used within the project, how IOHK's research and format methods approach gets translated into real code, the different development eras of Cardano from Byron to Basho and how these fit together, and also how Atala fits into the story. David also shares the news that he first staking testnet is coming all the way in June, or actually already in June, starting with a small closed pool of trusted stake pool operators. He says that like somewhere in the beginning already, and this will be a minimum viable product as the first iteration, and we will be adding out more functionality and more operators over the next 3 to 4 months. The Cardano Effect hosts a podcast on YouTube and it also points to the best practice staple channel on Telegram as a place to get more involved. But what was really cool about this is that I just quickly pressed and I found this on YouTube, of course, and damn, was this good. Alright, so I have not watched the whole thing yet. You can see I'm not all the way through, but literally everything that you want to know is just listed in here. He really took the effort to put all the timestamps of every different point in this video out there. So I had to comment. This is amazing quality content. Thank you for uploading this because this is really astonishing stuff, guys. I did not expect, or actually I think now he got most of these points from the people in the comment section, but still, it is quality. It's just amazing. And this podcast was a damn good one, getting things out there because there was so many questions about the roadmap and about everything related to it. So much is said in here, and this is a must-watch podcast for all of you guys. So just pick out any point that you would like to know about and just watch the video, the podcast of what point you like. So let me quickly get these ads out of the way. Sorry, there's 2 ads. Oh no, it's fine. All right, so only in this video I only got to 25 minutes. But here, as an example, let's see. Getting developer, or what is cool? What do you guys want to see about? Okay, what's going on with the roadmap here? That's an interesting point, right? Another ad. Okay, so I got ads in ads. Yeah, even I got ads in these videos. I'm sorry, guys. So let's quickly try to listen to some of that talking.
And we often compare things to the space program because Philippe and I are kind of both space fans here. And the Apollo missions, I think there was like 17 Apollo missions. Apollo 1 didn't land on the moon. Okay. So we kind of get where you're coming from, where you had to build and rebuild things 2, 3, 4 times. You didn't want to do it, you didn't have to, you hope you didn't have to do it. But same thing with any major project. The first time isn't going to be the end product. It's going to take over and over and over again. And I appreciate that background. So that I want to get onto the juicy, meaty stuff that the viewers are really interested in hearing, and that's about the new roadmap coming out. Now, last week you posted a blog post about the roadmap and upcoming status updates. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah. So, I mean, I mentioned in my post, I find this a really exciting kind of a transition stage. And so for a long time, we started with theory and research, and we spent a long time kind of putting foundation in place. And there's been a lot of promise, but, we're reaching a stage where the rubber actually gets to meet the road, and we're going to deliver real capabilities. And some of this stuff has never been done in the world before. And so we're excited for that. And so that's part of our desire to release a new roadmap. We wanted to put more details about what the different phases are, how they fit together. And there were some things about the old roadmap that we didn't like. And so as an example, we had for that one, we had feature level percent complete indicators. And man, we put an enormous amount of work into those, trying to keep them updated, a lot of time and effort. But the truth is they were still wrong. And so that's really frustrating to us more than anybody, but also to a lot of people outside the company. And so it goes back, I mentioned it again in my blog post. There's a famous and funny, but if you build software, it's a little bit painful too. So the quote that, the first 90% of the code takes 90% of the time, and then the last 90% takes another 90%. And And again, I'm not trying to make excuses, and we need to make sure that that doesn't happen too often, but it happens to us sometimes. And so what we've decided to do both internally and externally is we're orienting our development kind of milestones and planning around live progress demos. And so we've worked through all of the functionality that we're building and asked ourselves, okay, for this piece, what's it connected to, and when could we actually show something working? What would that look like? Even if it's in just a command line interface, but more often we're going to actually see something. And so we demonstrate now. We now have an internal demo roadmap where we're showing components as they become complete. And we feel like this is much more accurate, because to demonstrate something is actually working, that last 10%, it has to be done, really done, all done. And it may not be fully integrated and entirely ready to be released, but it is materially done. That's a status you can count on a little bit more. And so we trust that status a little bit more, and we think that the community would also. And so we were also, when we're thinking through this whole roadmap thing, is how can we do a better job of being more open with community, give the community more status? And so what we thought is, well, if we're doing these internal status demonstrations where we show, whatever's recently completed, why wouldn't we record those and make those available? And so that's what we've decided to do. And when we release those, we'll also put together a summary of what's being completed during that time. However, whenever the last one came, you probably wouldn't have it be farther than a couple months, and sometimes it might even be only 3 or 4 weeks that's passed. We'll release things when we have something to release, not just on a time drumbeat, so that we actually have something to say when we talk to you. And when we release those demos, I'll do an AMA where I'll start with a summary of what's been done and then ask any questions that people have. And we'll also release a kind of a summary roll-up document of what's been completed. And so then people will be able to see our developers showing what they finished, and they'll see the real status. They'll know what it really is. And in addition to that, we'll also, we already do weekly statuses. We'll keep doing that. We're going to improve them. We have a new internal version, which we think would be good for external as well. So we'll expose that. And so we think that that's a better way, a more accurate way. And it would be pretty much on the extreme end of the, openness and transparency spectrum. So that's our plan. And we're going to start putting those out around the end of the month.
That's going to be amazing, guys. I already told you guys most of this stuff that he just said, but to just hear it from an IOHK member here, a senior product manager for IOHK, I think does add a lot of legitimacy and how people have a lot more faith in it. I only want to show a few minutes here because, of course, it's still the Cardano effects video, but I recommend you guys all to check this whole thing out if you have any questions or any of these things appeal to you. Of course, all credits go to them and to him, of course, for telling this. No credit taken, but hopefully it's okay that I use a little bit of a part of this video. I don't know if I have to ask permission first or can just show a little part. I don't even know, but I'm just gonna take it and let's move on. So Cardano applauded as top blockchain project with admiring cost-effective services. This is something I am proud of, yet also kind of ashamed by. So Wise Ratings went on to Twitter to say Cardano is one of the best projects in the space and also one of the cheapest cryptos out there. And I don't like, all right? I do not really like that Wise said something like that. Reason for that being is that Wise has lost a lot of credibility over the last couple of months here by just on the one side having mixed signals about what they like and what they dislike, especially with XRP. We've definitely seen that happening. And also because they kind of say is the best project for any crypto. They just keep saying that about different cryptocurrencies, and it kind of takes away from their legitimacy to a certain extent. Also, one of the cheapest cryptos. What do they mean by that? Did they mean in terms of US dollars is the cheapest? But there's Tron that is even cheaper. I mean, if you just scroll down, there's way more that are cheaper. What I'm wondering with that is, why does it matter to them that it's a cheaper coin? Why does that relatively matter whatsoever that a coin is cheap, right? I'm just wondering why the frick this coin is cheap. All right, just tell me right now in the comment section. Do you think it matters how much a coin costs? Because in theory, any of these coins you can buy $1 of, depending on if it's 8,000 or 2,500 or 2,500. Doesn't matter for shit. You can buy $1 if you want to with any of these coins, because they can be split up into multiple pieces and parts. Still, the the thing goes around. Some people still think that you can only buy Bitcoin in wholes. Yes, you might think that's ridiculous, but some people still do think so. I've heard the expression, oh, but I cannot buy a whole Bitcoin, haha, oh, Bitcoin is too expensive to invest in, haha, too many times. The only thing you could say is that with Bitcoin, there's not that many gains to be made as with another crypto like Cardano, because of course, if you look at market caps, it's way easier for Cardano to have 10 times over, or a price that's 10 times as high as the Bitcoin. That is definitely true, but for the rest, I definitely think that it's never too late to invest into cryptocurrency, and for a company like Wise to say it's one of the crypto or cheapest cryptos out there, I just find extremely strange. I don't know why they post something like that. I don't know what they thinking, but I think it's odd, and I don't think they should have done that. And that's again why I said it's kind of positive, because they say it's one of the best projects out there, but still kind of take away from that by saying it's one of the cheapest crypto. Cardano price analysis. And again, I told you guys I don't like to speculate on Cardano price. It's something I do least favorably, all right? I don't like it because on one side, you guys told me not to do it too much. I really respect that, because I think it also hurts my own credibility. And it's always something you can't really predict. It's kind of a hoping or a speculating, or yeah, just kind of looking into one direction. But most of the time we are wrong. It just is that way. Whenever we're looking at trading on a shorter term, most of the time we are right with a 74% win rate. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, make sure you check out the Discord. We actually are trying to get a little bit of a trading community going in there. But with speculating on bigger price moves, most of the time we are wrong, because it's just too hard to predict the bottom. Cardano price analysis. Cardano will show a steady rise, medium-term price target of $1, and that is kind of where I took off, right? I like the beginning of the article. Cardano is going at speed as far as collaborations are concerned. Even though the collabs for Cardano are not that astonishing, I still think that this month has been a very good one in terms of partnerships. But when I saw the second line of them saying, medium-term outlook is bullish, target for 2019 is $1, I stepped back and really kind of thought again about my whole opinion about Cardano. So right now it's at 8 cents-ish, so it would take, like, let's say 12 times as high to really reach $1. And even though it's definitely possible, since all-time high is 131, and I definitely think all these cryptos can go over their all-time high, it is so far away that we cannot really put any real backing behind such a prediction, such a claim. So again, I just want to kind of leave that open there. If you can give me a good reason why it's going to hit that amount of money at the end of this year, you do that in the comment section, because I'm interested. But I personally could not think of a very good thing. And as we saw in this video right here, they're working on so much. They're getting things done every day in, day out, and they're working all time. But it's very hard to place a good end at every point, and to place a price tag at every development. Cardano price analysis and prediction for 2019. Another Bitcoin squeeze, and ADA is in trouble again. Mid-May update. So the fun thing I find about this is that I think yesterday we also had a mid-May update for Cardano on the exact same website. I do believe we had another one, but maybe I'm wrong. If I am, let me know in the comment section down below. I know for a fact that we looked into the VeChain and Stellar things, or like the mid-May updates, but I'm like 80% sure, 90% sure that we also looked into a Cardano mid-May update. The fun thing about it is that they keep updating us with technicals at the beginning here, so if you're into trading and you would like to know what the coin is doing, you can check it out in the beginning here. But the rest of the article kind of stays the same, doesn't really change too much, as you know, the things of mid-May and early May have not really changed in one day, right? So it does get a lot of views, which is respected, as it is quality content. One of the only websites that really posts quality stuff, I find. Though, you know, since we already covered most of it yesterday, I think it is fine to leave today. Cardano price analysis. Cardano ups its ante with new partnerships and announcements. Nothing new to report on here, guys. One thing only that I think was kind of interesting that happened now was the Mongolia situation, but I think that's already a few days ago as well. They talk about it here in the beginning. Where was it now? Cardano team has recently signed an agreement with the Mongolian government to track the usage of all adulterated drugs. And I'm wondering here, have they really, have they really done that? Have they signed anything, or is this fake news? Because this memorandum of understanding, to my understanding, funny, was fake, right? At least when I looked into the Twitters and what Charles said a few days ago, I saw that they had no MOU, and we actually covered that in our yesterday's video, but I can't seem to find it in my previous video and remember exactly what memorandum we were talking about, and if we're talking about the same thing. So I'm wondering if what I'm finding here is all just fake news, or if that was another memorandum. If it is, or if I'm talking about something else, just let me know in the comment section, guys. Or just make sure you just @ me on Twitter, all right? You can just send me messages on Twitter, or you can just leave my name here, like just type in @TheDustyBC, just like that. As simple as can be, and I'll just see what you're talking about so I can come tag along and talk with you guys. I think that does help a lot, though, since you can just show me everything, all right? Even though my messages are also open, so you can just send me a little message over there if you're finding something that you think I should check out. But I'm looking again through the Twitter, and I cannot find. One thing I can't find, though, again, is this. I nor IOHK has any relationship with Jobcoin. We never signed an agreement with them, MOU, or any document with their organization. I really do not appreciate my photo being used to promote offerings or imply an endorsement. This is talking about Jobcoin, but maybe they also got a few other MOUs which are fake or possibly not. It's so hard to filter through all the fake news in the crypto space. The reason I am kind of worrisome and why I think that what we covered yesterday was about Jobcoin and not about this MOU is because of the quote that they got in this article. Here they got a quote somewhere. Which article is it now? Guys, we're getting lost. We're getting lost. In one of these articles, they're having a quote about the MOU. And we talked so much about Mongolia before that, here's again in his words, that I think they got an MOU already, but I just don't know. All right? I don't know if there's... The question, actually, that we're talking about here is if they got an MOU, really, or if they are just, working together and interested in each other. That's my only question that I have. And I will most likely just check through my Twitter and to really verify everything. But for right now, I'm kind of wondering this, and I think a lot of you guys must be wondering about it as well, if I am wondering about it. Let's see here. Okay, wait. Maybe I can find it on the IOHK. Yeah, guys, never mind. Issue totally solved. We're excited to share today that IOHK signed an MOU with the Mongolian Blockchain and Technology Cryptocurrency Association and Mongolian FinTech Association. This MOU is to implement and foster blockchain project development and education in Mongolia. More information coming soon. Okay, everything is verified now. So these articles are not reporting on fake news. That is good to see. Again, I was trying to maybe FUD bust a little bit, but that is not needed in this case now. As this stuff is real. Proven. We found it on IOHK, so I guess that's one of the best sources we could have found it at, which is really positive. I'm probably kind of excited, actually, that I could find it in that speedy, I like. So these articles were not that internally interesting. Cardano climbs 10% in rally, which has all been kind of negated now since the prices fell down again. Cardano ups the ante, as we said before, and Cardano's latest deal against counterfeit drugs in Mongolia sets the stage for massive adoption and surge in price of ADA. I think this is really exciting, though. I'm personally really excited about the whole situation if this goes correctly. And the reason I could still be excited, even though I questioned the MOU, is because I knew they were interested. I just didn't know if they already had an MOU, if there was still some speculation about getting that or anything like that. But all right, moving forward, I want to quickly talk about Ripple XRP. Reason for that being is that I did a video yesterday about, or maybe even today, about Bitcoin coming in the 60 minutes talk and actually getting a massive amount of attention. So Mr. B XRP actually on Twitter said now, imagine if 60 Minutes did a story on Ripple and how they are using the digital asset XRP to change the way the world exchanges money. And I just found this mind-blowing. Tonight is just the beginning because they got some Bitcoin news in there, kind of spreading it to millions of people. And then I asked the question of how has the Bitcoin interest gone over the last couple of months? Has it only gone down or up? I don't know. But what this really made me think about is what if a coin like XRP or even a coin like Cardano or, I think those two most specifically, were to get such massive attention of what they are doing, what they want to achieve, and how they're doing it, things like that. Would that not be the most amazing thing in the world? And do you not think that these coins would just blow up because they are so extremely good? XRP in the sense that they're trying to change the world with Ripple, right? Ripple is trying to change the world and the way we move money and see transactions now and see kind of, movement of money. And XRP in the sense that it's just so amazing, so easy to use, so cheap, so fast. And it would just change a lot of people's perspective and most likely also make a lot of people very, very happy because they can now transact money in such an easy fashion. So I think it would change the world in a very, very positive way. But I'm also wondering with Cardano of just the philosophical side and just their ideas, as we can also see back in this article down below. If you scroll all the way down, you can see why will it succeed. If we scroll here, why will Cardano succeed? That is, again, what I think they should show to people. What is it behind Cardano that makes it so special? And why are there so little reasons for it to fail, to fall, or go down? It is because their approach is, to my opinion, still one of the greatest things they could have ever done. And I think it's just amazing to finally see a project that chooses, let's see here again, where is it now? That chooses 1 ounce of prevention that is worth more than a pound of cure. I think it's just one of the only projects that really chooses to go for it that way, and I think that's amazing to see. And then last but not least, the SEC delays decision on the VanEck Solid X filing in latest Bitcoin ETF setback. It has been delayed again, and it was already expected for this to happen, but now it's official. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has again delayed a decision on a Bitcoin ETF proposal. In a new document filed Monday, the SEC said it was institutioning proceedings on whether to approve or disapprove a proposed rule, changing that would allow the VanEck Solid X Bitcoin Trust to issue and list its shares. So right now, we're only going to read this, by the way. The regulator invited comments from the public due 21 days from when the order is published in the Federal Register, and rebuttals to those comments due 35 days in such publication. The new deadline for the SEC to make a new decision is August 19th, so we're going to be waiting for that to come on, and it can be delayed one more time for the final deadline of October 18th, attorney Jake Chervinsky said. Chervinsky, that sounds peculiar. But yeah, that is all the news I got for you guys for today. We got some amazing stuff covered though, and I think that every day that we move forward here, more and more Cardano articles pop up, more and more Cardano podcasts and things like this, like innovative community things start to pop up, and also how much more we start to know about Cardano. We know a whole lot, we've covered a whole lot in this series, but it's kind of interesting that a whole article like this, like it's so long, we've covered before, and you guys know almost all that is in there by just watching these videos. Like, can Cardano reach $1, $10, $100? Is that significant? No. Can it? In theory, yes. Will it ever happen? That's a whole different question, alright? That's a whole different question. In theory, something like that could happen. It's just very unlikely to get to $100 in our lifetimes, but, you know, anything is possible. The world is crazy. Is Cardano dead? If you are wondering that, this might not be the video for you guys, because I think Cardano is well alive and even more alive than ever. And now with the roadmap updates and all the rest of these points covered, we are just so much more secure of our investment. I'm going to actually finish this video right here, watching the last 20 minutes, because I think I need to know my stuff even better for Cardano to give you guys better updates on the coin. But if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button and let me know what I can improve on in the comment section down below so I can make these videos better for you. Make sure you check out Discord, a link for that is in the description below. Make sure you check out my Instagram, TheDustyBC, Twitter, TheDustyBC, it's the same name, same handle. Free Bitcoin in because it's a place to grab free Bitcoin, so why not? Just quickly check it out, it's worth it. And Ledger, make sure you have your funds on a hardware wallet, guys, and don't leave your funds on exchanges. If you send your crypto to exchanges, it goes to their private key, to their wallets, so it's not practically yours. If you have it on a hardware wallet, you can do whatever you want with it, and you are sure you will never lose it. If an exchange gets hacked, you lose your money. If an exchange becomes illiquid, you have a chance to lose your money. If an exchange just runs away, you probably have lost your money. If their wallets get hacked, anything can happen to those funds. And if you own it yourself, you're secure of your money. So make sure you buy yourself one, $60 for the cheapest one. So make sure you invest. And again, on this Twitter, on this Instagram, you can find reasons to invest. And even on some of these other pages that I follow, I just give you guys more and more reasons. On the one hand, to invest into things, because that's really how you possibly could get a lot richer, and also how to get a different mindset for these things and how to possibly do better in the crypto space. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you again in another crypto video. Enjoy your day, everybody. Have a nice one.